good to geek out. Let's go. Hey, the final episode, episode 6 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. What a climax! This series delivered everything I was hoping for. If you watched our lead up to it and more, excited to talk about it with my friends here and see what they have to say. As we closed out the very last episode, the meeting in the GRC about to take the vote on what to do with the refugees, the resettlements, and cut the lights. Boom.
So dramatic. Editor San Antonio, happy to be here talking about One World, One People. Episode 6.
One world, one people. Jay, bring the new Warriors back in 2021 here from LA, California. Take it away, Boba Fresh.
That's me. That's it, seriously.
Well, we enter with our actually 3 heroes at this point in time. Sam Wilson, the Falcon, in the new Captain America outfit. Boom. Introduction.
Fucking beautiful. Can I say how beautiful of an introduction that was? Because the last thing, like you were saying, we see is the suitcase open up. And they wasted no time. They wasted no time getting us to the action and what we wanted to see. Oh my God, I was blown away with his entrance, and I reflexively wanted to not like his suit. I was like, let me find something about this suit I don't like. And I was like, God damn it, it's a good fucking suit, man.
I will agree. I did the same thing, and I agree. My thing was a little puffy on the shoulders. That's all. That's all I got. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
It's a little puffy on the shoulders. What'd you think about the suit, Jay? The introduction of the new Sam Wilson Captain America.
I was amazed. They did it just like the comic book. I was like, man, am I watching the comic book here? I'm like, ooh, okay. It brought me back. I'm like, Civil War, Captain America, Sam Wilson is in effect. It almost brought tears to my eyes. I was like, man, this is cool. I'm loving it, especially the part where he said, when he come in, he was like, wait, who are you? Are you Captain Falcon? I'm like, no, I'm Captain America. Oh, I thought he was on the moon. He's like, man, get that shit straight, man. Get it right. I'm Captain America. I felt that. I'm like, yeah, I'm Captain America.
Yeah, no, that like that intro, that was the cap for the intro, was him saying that, and he did all the emotion that had been building up since the moment he crashed through that window gets released right when he says that. It's like a endorphin rush. It's fucking awesome.
I want to talk about the symbolism of him breaking through the glass ceiling, as it were. He could have done his entrance anyway, but he broke through, shattered through expectations to do a service to other people, to save other people. And he's bathed in red light, like this, like either, and this, we didn't talk about the angel wings getting ripped off last time, but the heavy Christian iconography throughout this entire episode is rife. And him being in hell with the red light is what I ended up going to.
What I've learned watching this series is you always know when Batroc the Leaper appears, because someone gets a double hoof kick to their chest, and that's the opening move. You guys, GSP, I like GSP as a fighter, but he fights really good at this. He does like some beautiful choreography, I guess it is. Also,
yeah, no, I agree.
World champion.
It goes back to what I was saying. There was an article, and I said this in the last episode, that he need to start winning some fights. And we went back to episode 1. I was like, oh, come on, man, you got the new suit, man. Don't let this dude work you in the new suit. Come on, you're Captain America now. You got to start living up to this now. You ain't the Falcon no more. You can't fight like a sidekick. You got to fight like a captain.
Yeah, the GRC's getting evacuated, and then you find out very quickly. Besides Batroc, there's Flag Smasher agents mixed in with the guards. You don't know who's a good guy. You don't know who's a bad guy. Cut to the bottom floor. Bucky gets distracted. He's got one job to do. Gets distracted. And then, Sharon Carter being all super slick. Puts those mercury bombs on that dude. Oh, that was sweet.
Dude, during that, before we leave, like the fighting scenes, the Batroc scene, when Sam uses what's basically the charging star from the Marvel superheroes fighting game that Captain America used to do and be like, charging star, and he'd come really fast with the shield. He does that with the jetpack on Batroc.
Oh, yeah.
So you thought that too. So you
yeah.
thought that too. I was like, oh, he just didn't have the after images and doing that. But yeah, that was cool.
No, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, when he did it with the jetpack.
Also, while this is going on, Carly's kind of talking right to the other Flag Smashers, and they're obviously starting to see that she's crossing the line for them personally. And the name of the episode is what One World, One People. So she does the salute, and they don't want to respond at first because she's obviously
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so deep into it, they kind of got to follow her now.
Yeah.
And again, I think that has some parallels to what's going on in the sense of like, well, when you're just so far gone, like even when you don't believe it, you're already this far. Like how do you turn around? How do you go back? But this was the first time, because I've really liked Carly as a character, but in that speech is the first time that I really felt Jay, where her charisma was lacking. Like she just didn't win me over. Like I get it that she was supposed to be winning them over, but in the same sense, like John Walker last episode, like we have the sympathetic moment with him. Where we're like, okay, like I get it. Like she doesn't make a convincing argument for me to be like, fuck yeah, you got to do it right. Like,
but then you bring up John Walker walking in and messing shit up. So this is the part where John Walker walks in.
Oh, and then he shows up.
And at first it looks like he is fucking shit up, but I think, if there's a point of contention I have with the episode, it's that we don't really get to see John Walker's moment of resolution from where he was to where he is now, because he seems to be a lot more mentally balanced, shall we say, beyond obviously still grieving.
I think that's towards the end of the episode. He is pure rage right now. He's going to get revenge for Hopkins. That is his goal. They're having their fight. Falcon, Sharon, they're fighting down there. By the construction zone, maybe getting the upper hand, and then John Walker shows up, and she looks over and she's like, "Oh, fuck! Now I got to deal with this guy too." Oh,
that's what I mean. I don't think he came in and he fucked it up like he did in episode 4, like Jay just talked about. He came in when he charged in and he messed up Carly and Falcon talking. It ruined everything. Like they had to rebuild back from there. This time, I think he came in and caused enough of a confusion, or at least some sort of dilemma for them to have to deal with. Well, they kind of all win because of that.
He turns the battle, he turns the fight to, and they start getting the upper hand. But then you see his moment of truth is he has the opportunity to take her out or to save the people in the van.
Yeah.
They pause on him for several seconds as he's contemplating this. And that's where he makes the change. He's like, she's dead if he wants to go kill her at that moment in time. Instead, he goes and he saves the van, and he saves the people in the van, or does his best to do that.
So John Walker's entrance was baller.
Yes.
And like I had said before, with Sam Wilson breaking through the window as the symbolism and all of these things are going on, John Walker walks in with the city behind him. America has his back. So visually, you see John Walker walking in. New York has his back. He's coming in, but it's all horns and honking and craziness. Falcon comes in. We have the amazing helicopter fight happening simultaneous. We have the return of fucking Red Wing, which was dope as hell. the face call out. Can we find anyone there who knows how to fly? Like the entire sequence was just a great super spy story. And when the guy finally gets he repeats the thing that he did in the first movie. Repeats the thing that he did in the first episode of flying through the helicopter, but instead of getting the hostage and saving the guy, he takes out the pilot. Homegirl comes in, so they're doing this like awesome repeat of the intro. Boom, he lands on the bridge. The wings deflect a helicopter exploding, falling, and he gets up. And again, we have this. We have this symbolism of the cities behind him. New York is behind him. America is behind him. But they're not honking horns and frustrated now. Everyone's cheering. Everyone's out of their car and they're like, this shit is dope. Look at motherfucking Captain America. I'm going to be late for work, but I don't care.
I'll say what I got kind of off that as well, just kind of piggybacking off that, is that when John tries to save them, but he can't, obviously he's busy, but then Sam does. I got the metaphor of it's not going to be a Superman that's going to save us. It's going to be a normal man that saves us.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Sorry.
No, that scene where it was the confirming of his character development. I was going to say it was the confirmation of John Walker's character development, where at one point you see the rage coming out and he's just like, he's raised. The PTSD is like, man, I'm going to kill you. But then he looks at himself, he looks at it, and he's like, okay, do I go after Carly or do I go save these people? Do I get revenge or do I do the right thing? And with all that he's went through, he chose to do the right thing. He chose to save the people. And I was like, well, see, he still got that hero mentality. He may not do the things the right way, but he's still for the people. And that's where I'll say his confirmation as an anti-hero.
Wait. I want to say something. I want to get to Jay's point right here. I think Sam Wilson's monologue might have been like the best, like 3-minute monologue or 4-minute monologue in all of Marvel to date. I mean, he laid it all out like, hey, I know there's going to be a million people in America that hate me because I'm, like you're saying, like I'm a black Captain America. I don't care. I'm gonna play to, this is my moral conviction, and you like, if you guys aren't fixing anything. If you vote to isolate these folks, you're just making more Carlys. You have to ask yourself why they're doing the things that they're doing. If you're not asking yourself those questions, you're just being dictators. Yeah, I don't, what about the people that came back and their houses are gone? I don't know the answers to that question. There's no easy answers. Is it right for them to stay there? I don't know the answers to that question either. But we can't just be these elite people in the room making decisions for those people out there and expect everybody to fall in line, because it's not going to happen.
Lucy, to your point about this is the best monologue, because this monologue is about helping people. This is in reflection of what Sam had said to Bucky about, are you avenging or are you being of service? And so this is like Sam is being proactive. Up until this point, the Avengers have had good speeches, but they've always been reactive. They've always been cops who've shown up. Woo, 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 woo. They've never been the people they've never been the social planners. They've never been the people who say, well, okay, well, how do we make this not happen next time? And Sam has the best monologue because he's the only monologue that gives hope and speech. And coming from a black man in America wearing the stars and stripes in today's climate is like I thought WandaVision was high art. This took fucking Fast and the Furious and it stuffed Malcolm X in the driver's seat. Like fucking beautiful shit.
So it's hilarious because I was thinking about it. It's like the Sixth Sense. Like when she comes out and you find like she's revealed as the power broker, you're like, how didn't we see this all the way through the entire show? Like she snipes the underling. Why did she snipe the underling? Was it to help out Sam or was it to take out a rival?
Well, that's okay. So
how did she know where the lab was? Like, how did she know? And you're like, oh, of course, because she's the power broker.
So what I thought was dope, we have the wind down scene. So our montages get paid off with Bucky coming in with the cake and everyone's in Louisiana and they're just looking out to the Gulf, and it was beautiful. Like it made me be like, this is why people love America. Like it's hard being black in Louisiana, but not out there on the ocean. That's you and the ocean. Like, you know, like there's a freedom there, and they just kind of hit up this Americana with, you know, these two, you know, this black and white buddy cop, you know, like this is like the best fucking buddy cop movie. And
but then on the other side of that, Bucky going to talk to.
Oh yeah, like hey, making amends.
that was
Is making amends actually apologizing and owning up for what you did, or getting revenge? Is it making amends or getting revenge?
Yeah.
And he comes to the conclusion with Sam's guidance and the giving the book back to the psychiatrist at the end. Like a nice little move there.
Can we talk about that? Put that in a museum. Like it belongs in a museum. That is Captain America's notebook that he had. Like I'm sorry. Like I appreciate her and I appreciate the symbolism, but I was like, you need to give that to the goddamn First Avenger Museum that they're hanging out in, which we also have to talk about before we just get to the end.
Oh yeah, because they Isaiah Bradley is now an official part of that record.
Exactly, and I thought that was beautiful. You should just jump to the US Agent real quick. I just want to make sure that we covered that ground.
True.
And so we have Sam returning back to Baltimore after, like, when Sam is giving his speech, and okay, like this might get me emotional. So when Sam's giving his speech and Bradley is watching it on the TV with his grandson and he's proud. I'm about to graduate in a couple of weeks from college. I'm gonna get my bachelor's degree, which was something my dad has always wanted me to get. And like I mentioned before, my dad has passed away. So it just made me feel like a lot of connection with like this sense of generational pride of like every generation of Black men has worked so hard to make it better for the next generation. And they really encapsulate it with that, especially when Sam goes back and like I said about him, Bradley just moving the tree whatsoever, and the young Black kid right over his shoulder seeing how this interaction goes. Like, you know, like they just did this beautiful, you know, like family thing that just really, really resonated with me. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I fucking cried. Sorry.
What'd you think, Jerry?
I was gonna say that, you know, the museum part, that really got to me. That was more like, well, you know where I'm coming from with this, Rob. Okay, so check this. You know, when you see an elderly Black person, it's like you give him respect. He's like, hey man, I respect you, OG. I respect everything that you've ever done. And Sam did that. I was like, this is so they'll never forget you. They'll never forget what you've done. Now we're gonna make this part of history. And you know, from that to the hug, and you got that old Black man. He's like, man, damn, you don't never let up, do you? But with Sam giving him so much respect, he's like, I got to put this history out there, and I got to make sure that everybody knows what you've done. And I think he understands that. But it was like, man, it's like a legacy passed on.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And like the picture of the veteran of the all Black battalion. So just addressing the pre-desegregation of the military that simply existed, like, and going to that idea of like, I'm willing to go and fight and die for this. I love this country so much. It's not just about a GI Bill. I love this country so much. I will go and fight and die for it, for my family back home. But I still am a second-class citizen. I still can't be integrated into the society. So I thought that just really hit. So to Lucy's point, so they're back in the senator's chamber with the Countess, and US Agent comes out after having his, you know, scared fashion moment, like, you know, like, and they do a beautiful job with that chemistry there. Zemo's butler blows up the super soldiers, and that was so great because Homeboy just comes in, he's like, one world, one people, and they just do a great shot of like the gates closing, and you can just see the Asian guy that's been very trepidatious about the entire Carly thing the whole time. He's like looking at her like, yeah. Looking at the dude, he's like, yeah. And then that shit explodes, and I was like, what happened? And then you see that, and then they go and they cut, and Brule is an amazing actor because this dude is just sitting in a cell and he just looks like he just gives like this evil smile when he hears it on the radio. And I was like, this fool is acting he isn't saying a word and he is conveying so much. It was so fucking dope. Really, really beautiful. But then U.S. Agent emerges. Oh yeah, Contessa's did I do it? I don't know. Well, maybe I did. I don't know. But maybe I did. Like that back and forth was beautiful.
I think this is well, it's because it's the most recent, but probably my favorite Disney Marvel series to date right now. I guess it's just number 2, but it's going to be hard to top this one. They did drop some hints, maybe some Doctor Doom with Latvia, maybe some seeding some mutant foreshadowing. But besides that, I'm happy to see Sam Wilson as Captain America. What a great 6 episodes, packed a lot in. Looking forward to more. And speaking of more, Loki seems to be in the pipeline in about a month and a half. So we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, 5 out of 5 stars on my end. Love to hear what some of our viewers have to say about this, whether they agree or disagree with us. Rob Lucy signing out, Phoenix, Oregon.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's a great series, Rob. I think that they tied it from beginning to end with a nice bow. Everything kind of connects. And not only that, but it sets up a lot of future things that'll probably be handled in the movies. And it was enjoyable from beginning to end. I've heard a little bit online about people not liking it or thinking it was not a good finale. I am in Texas. There's a little political heavy-handedness in this. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I've just noticed that, and I think it's bullshit. It's nice to talk to other people that all agree. And I saw you shake your head when I said that. Perfect, because that's how I felt when people were like, "What are you bitching about?" And I think it was like his costume. I don't know, whatever. Speaking of the costume, I wanted to bring that up, and I forgot to. White is innocence, faith, and purity. If you look at John Walker's suit, very little white. Look at Sam Wilson's Captain America suit. It's white from the heart up to his face. Editor, San Antonio, sign out.
Editor, that just shows how conditioned you are by the man to be indoctrinated to believe that white is the purity symbol. I am so disappointed in you, my brother. I thought the Black and Brown Brothers was gonna go down. We were gonna go down to City Hall and we were gonna strike, but they were hiring that day.
Bean pie, my brother.
Beautiful fucking episode. Sorry, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful episode. Beautiful series. They pulled off political commentary. They snuck in some religious stuff that didn't bother me. Casting, again, the key to Marvel is the casting and the chemistry that comes off. And this just happened to be because these two toured promoting movies well together, and they just had fun. And so like that ability to like take, it would be like if they made us a group of the Fantastic, maybe the Unknown Challengers, and just put us out there. So I just think that was dope. And I was already teary, like I said, when the Bradley thing had happened. So when you finish up and they hit you with the boom, 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 Captain America and Winter Soldier. Oh
yeah.
Disco, I'm out.
I will say this. I thought WandaVision was good, but this really took my soul. Like this series was from the character development, great character development on all 3 people, as far as Bucky, Sam Wilson, and even John Walker. The inclusion of Isaiah Bradley, the Black Captain America, that caught me by surprise. I did not think they were going to add that. Then in the finale, the costume that Sam Wilson, obviously he wore in the comic books. U.S. agent. They perfectly done. The only thing I can say that surprised me in this series was the Isaiah Bradley thing. Power Broker, I saw that kind of coming. Um, Baron Zemo, yeah. Also, I'm more hyped because of this. There's going to be a Captain America 4. And I'm hearing this is going to be Captain America 4. I hope this happens. This movie's going to be with Sam Wilson. So I've been wanting this to be a movie, but after listening to you guys, it's a series. And so glad it was a series. And, they covered the actual real life boundaries on it, the RL boundaries. So I'm more hyped for Captain America 4. Um, Jay, still a Night Thrasher, but much respect to Captain America from LA, California.
Nice. Did